your first line of defense is always going to be with your manager, because we're all adults and we have to communicate that way, peer to peer. But if there is a continuing issue or something goes on, then it comes to me and I will work in conjunction with the VP of that league. So in the majors, that would be Lawrence Cowell, who isn't here today but is on the board. Anthony will be handling that for AAA. And we've got Rick Christ in the AA single A. So we've got that full process. So then what happens is we work with you, the parent, and your child. So you may come to me and say, I've got this issue, or my child has this issue. My first question is going to be, let me hear your perspective, but I want to talk to your child, because what they tell me is just as important. And then we work from there, whatever it may be. And sometimes it's just understanding how things work. So ultimately, I'll be the voice of the kids throughout the season. So anything that comes up, feel free to call with questions or anything else.
Thank you. Does it clarify the player agent, really the advocate for the children? And we do have a, for lack of a better term, an escalation procedure that we will post at the league this year. And one of our goals going into this year, we're going to talk about some of the field improvements, is to put a face to all the board members. I've been a part of the league 5 or 6 years, and people wander around. I have no idea if they're a board member or just a parent eating licorice. You know, it's just, so I want to make sure I know who to go to, and if I see, you know, I didn't know this, but each year, each game, each day, each evening, there is a board member on duty at the field. Pardon me? Usually eating licorice, and I advocate it.
I'm just going to say, and what I didn't get into, just because I wanted to cover the speech for the kids, but I run the draft and I run tryouts.
Yeah.
So those are my 2 responsibilities, and then also the same thing for all-stars in the draft. And once kids are playing, if someone leaves a team or something happens or a kid gets hurt and we have to move a child from a lower level up, that's myself and whoever the VP is of that league. So yeah. I'll interact with you on all different levels.
So, you know, like I said, the board has these committees. We're not even calling it the tryout committee this year. We're calling tryouts the player evaluations, because those of you who have been in the major leagues or heard of the major leagues before know that we're doing a complete redraft this year, and the goal for the redraft was really create balance and parity in the league and its consistency with other leagues. You know, minis, minors, juniors, seniors, they redraft every year. And our goal was to bring parity to the league, and you know, the way we do that fairly is to evaluate the kids fairly each year. Tryout implies they're going to make it or not make it. Really, every kid makes it the minute they sign up. We're just trying to get them in the right spot so they're in a favorable situation. So guess what? They come back next year, and they come back and they tell their friends. And so that's my goal and our goal as a board. Everybody, you know, we're lucky. This board, you know, show you some of the board members. About half of this board has been around for a long time, in 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Troy Sanderson, who was president for 5 years, God bless him, is treasurer this year. But the newer members are learning from the older members and bringing other ideas, and they're saying, hey, quiet down, puppy, let me tell you why we do it this way. But it's a great opportunity for us to learn from each other, and I'm blown away by the commitment for these folks. We've literally put in hundreds and hundreds of hours to make sure the league's in a good spot. So you may know some of these folks. Some of them are here today, but we're going to actually try and put a picture and a description of each person's duty, so you can, if you see them at the field, you can stop them and ask them along the way. That's a little bit of a change this year. Philosophy of the league. Look, we're a nonprofit organization designed to promote, develop, supervise, and voluntarily assist all those who wish to participate. All those who want to participate. That's kind of the goal. You know, we assist youth in developing qualities of citizenship, discipline, teamwork, physical well-being by espousing the virtues of character, courage, and loyalty. Nowhere in there is winning and losing. We all know that winning and losing goes hand in hand with a competitive league. But we're also developing character of our children. And all of us are in the same boat to develop the character of the children. And if they go away feeling good about it and they say, I had a great opportunity, I got to tell you, in my years of Little League, I don't remember one loss record at all. I couldn't tell you if we did well or not. I do remember one game we won 14-0. My mom felt bad for the other team. right? So we want to bring competitive balance, and people just, kids, you know, one thing I learned last year, 5 minutes after the game, they're just happy to go to the snack bar. They can almost care less, right? So it's up to us, once they leave the ballpark, to be a good advocate and support for the coach. So we're just building the character of youth. How are we doing on time, Nolan? We're okay? Okay.
15 minutes.
What you should expect, your child's going to be safe out there on the field. You're going to be treated with respect. They're going to be treated fairly, and they will learn how to play baseball. We're going to do some things to help our coaches this year get better, including we're going to do a clinic for them from a few professional ball players, going to teach them how to run practices, skill development, but we're also doing some other things for the coaches this year through the Positive Coaching Alliance I'll get to in a minute. What the league should expect. You as a parent should be an active volunteer in the program. And this is really tough because everybody's busy. And we're very busy. So we're just hoping that everybody volunteers, and that could be in the snack bar, raking the fields, being a team parent, umpiring games at the lower levels. Heck, in the mini level, I see like 8 dads out there sometimes, just making sure the kids are doing the right things and keeping them all organized. It's a complete volunteer organization. And then I'm just asking you as parents that you demand that behavior from others in the crowd. You know, so positively support all the players, coaches, umpires. This is one huge thing that we'll probably get to next year, is trying to align the coaches and the parents on the same page. As parents, we play a critical role in the success of that coach. And I'm guilty of that as a parent in the past, where I'm like, gosh, I wish the coach would have done that. And before you know it, my kids are repeating it back to me. And realizing the coach is doing the best they can with your children in that game situation. Could there be improvements? Absolutely. But as a parent, we have a duty to say, you know what? It's okay. Let's go get a snack out of a snack bar, or let's go to lunch, or whatever. How do you feel about that game? And just become an advocate for the coach and say, you know, they're doing the best they can. And so if we get everybody on the same page, I think we're going to be much better off. I almost wish we had like plexiglass out in front of the stand, right? So you can just watch the game. And maybe you can hear the sounds of the kids having fun and laughing, but you can't. I umpired a game last year at the major leagues. They asked me to do it one time. I said, okay, I'll umpire the game. And I was blown away by the comments I heard for a child, the first child batting in the game through 6 innings. He must have received hundreds of instructions. Adjust your stance, move your toe, lift your hands, keep your head down, keep your chin chuck, hit it out front, and all these things. I was like, this poor guy, and you don't realize, but when you umpire, you hear everything. An umpire hears everything you say, almost to a whisper. For whatever reason, it's a crucible of sound. It's like a stereo, you hear everything. I can't imagine these kids. They're hearing every instruction we give. And then if the coach hears, is yelling that, that's just additional noise. So, parents cheer, coaches coach. That's what we're doing. Okay?
Andrew, I just wanted to add, kind of as experience, that if people want to have a conversation with their coach or their manager, don't do it right before a game. Don't do it right after. If you have something, kind of a 24-hour rule, whatever it is, if the next day you feel the same way, send them an email, ask if you can talk, set up a time, because right before a game or right after, they're doing strategy, or during. Well, that's unacceptable, but yeah. But I mean, just to encourage that for all of us to think that through, that they're handling the kids at that time.
Yeah, that's a great point. And you know, I coached last year at AA level, which is a special level. Kids are young and stuff. And you know, through my years, I've literally had parents send their child to come up and say, "My mom wants to know when I'm going to pitch." I'm like, so do I send the message back through this? You know, and I'm thinking, I said, we'll get to it. You know, so the coach is trying to have parent meetings in advance and stuff.